What's up guys, Zane here, welcome back to another video here today. As you can see, I'm doing another US State Battle Royale simulator, but this time there's a twist. What's the twist, you ask? Well, got all 50 states on this wheel, but on this wheel, there's an alliance option, and there's odds, so it's less likely to get that, right? Because I don't want that happening all the time. Then there's also this, where there's a civil war option. There's a 10% chance to get a civil war from this, and 30% chance to get an alliance. You do the rest of the math to get the attack. So basically, it's going to be a lot harder to win, hopefully. So let's see. First state is Massachusetts. We're going to spin this wheel, and it's going to attack. All right, so Massachusetts is going to attack. It's going to be New Hampshire. Now, is Massachusetts and John Cena successful? Nope. No repeat of what they did last video. I also forgot to mention, I'm going to mention how those other wheels and how alliances are going to happen and work when they happen throughout the video. Here we go. We already one state down. Here we go. What's going to happen next? Maryland. Now, this wheel, attack. Maryland is going to attack Delaware. Is not successful. I would make a joke about Delaware and Joe Biden, but the last time I made a joke that sounded like I was in favor of Joe Biden, I got hella disliked and hated. Got hella disliked, and I started a political argument in the comment section I had to delete before it got out of hand and had to put a PSA not to. So I'm not going to make the joke. Next up is going to be Hawaii. Hawaii, you better hope you land on alliance because you're going to be only able to attack California, and you're attacking California. Now, does Hawaii win? Yes, they do. Also, I haven't mentioned it yet. I did get a better map. Next up is going to be Maine. Now, unless this lands on alliance, it's going to be attacking New Hampshire. And they do ally with someone. Okay, so here's how the alliance feature works. I'm going to respin this wheel. Whoever it lands on, Maine allies with. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. They're doing it with Texas. Now, the way the alliance also works is I go over here, color them both in the same color, and on one of them, I put both of their initials because I can't be bothered to do it twice. And this way I could see all in one place who's allied. And then we just respin the wheel again. No one gets taken out or anything. Kentucky's up next. Let me tell you, I did a test run with these options. Kentucky was super powerful and then they lost. Hawaii won that test run. They're attacking. And Kentucky is going to go for Missouri. Kentucky just barely wins. So far, so good. Next up, Alabama. Alabama in my test run with these options came second. They huge upset. They're attacking. They're attacking Mississippi. Is Alabama successful? Just barely failed. I do want to mention really quick, I did experiment with a stalemate option, but I just got rid of it. So maybe in the future. I'm a complete idiot. I put the wrong state. Fixed it though. Connecticut up next. They are going to attack. Also, New York got its tail now. They're attacking Vermont and they lose. I'm a complete fucking idiot. Oh my god. Sorry, I have to redo the whole who they're attacking thing because I don't even border Vermont. So if I was to remove Vermont, whoever it lands on, they attack and lose. New Hampshire. Fixed two mistakes. I'm tired. First, I said Alabama, one they didn't. First, and then I said Connecticut borders Vermont. You want to know what I need? Sleep. New Hampshire is up next. Now, because New Hampshire is up next and they have territory, this is where the Civil War wheel comes into play. 10% chance, remember, for a civil war, but it's an attack. Take over 2 states and still only border 4. Here we go. It's going to be New York. Also, here's what I'm going to do. Because New Hampshire has 3 states under its control and New York doesn't, I'm upping the chance. Okay, so here we go. That's also what I'm doing. I forgot to mention that. Which is why alliances are super helpful, right? It's really helpful when you get an alliance because then you're stronger. New Hampshire wins. That is also how I had the huge upset because Alabama had 40 states, Hawaii had 10. So you could imagine the odds, right? And Hawaii won. So yeah, alliances are really helpful. Before anything, you should get an alliance and then get stronger because say your partner has 5 states, you have 3, and you're facing someone that has 4. Well, now it's a 8v4 odd, right? You know, so there we go. New Hampshire again. It'd be really funny if it got a civil war here. Wait, oh my God, wait. Wait. No, it's an alliance. Almost out of civil war, but New Hampshire is going to ally with someone. Who are they allying with? With Florida for whatever reason. Would you look at that? They're expanding their influence, New Hampshire. Smart. Up next is Tennessee. They're attacking. Tennessee will attack North Carolina. 50-50 chance. Tennessee loses. That was a final place finisher, or like 3rd place last time, Tennessee. Up next, Oklahoma. I spun the wrong wheel. Because I'm the idiot, I'm going to allow Oklahoma to ally with someone. Since I'm the one that made the mistake, I'm just going to roll with it. Oklahoma is going to ally with Nebraska. That's not that bad of it. Right? They're close together. Right? That's a horrible K, but we're rolling with it. I'm tired. Utah's up next, and they're going to ally with someone. So even if that was a spin for Oklahoma, they were allying either way. Utah allies with Oregon. Oh, wait, that's not that bad. They're right next to each other. So far, everything looks good. West Virginia, they're going to attack. They're going after Ohio, and just barely they lose. This is a lovely looking map so far, besides the K on Oklahoma. Illinois? Yep, they're going on the attack. They're going after Iowa. They lose. I'm going to make a prediction. It's going to be Montana next. Oh my god. Oh my god. You little Utah. I gotta mention this one rule. Because Utah technically owns 2 territories, they only do that. They only own those territories because it's an alliance. So they don't spin the Civil War wheel. So they spin this wheel. They're on the attack, going for Colorado. And because they have the alliance boost, they have a 2 in 1 chance, or 3 to 1 chance of winning. No, what? 2/3 a chance of them winning is what I was trying to say. They won. Let me just mention as well, if they went for Idaho, I would have gave a little bit of Idaho to Oregon and the other half to Utah. But they went for Colorado, so they get all of it. We have the first alliance that allied and then expanded. Arkansas. Arkansas is a rock and a hard place right now, surrounded by a lot of powerful people, which is why they are going to ally. Who will Arkansas ally with? Maine? Wisconsin. Maine would have been the better bet since you border Texas, who's also in an alliance with Maine. So you could have joined that alliance, but you did it with Wisconsin. So does that make sense? About as much sense as your spelling and pronunciation. Rhode Island. Rhode Island, similarly, in a rock and a hard place like Arkansas, but much worse, which is why they go for an alliance as well. Now, if Rhode Island's smart, they're going to ally with New Hampshire, right? No, they're just going to ally with themselves. When I tell you this also happened in my test run too, and it landed on itself twice. So I could give it to Iowa, but we're just going to respin it. I swear to God. Okay. They're doing it with Hawaii. Now, Rhode Island's a little safer. Mississippi, and again, because it has territory, it spins the Civil War wheel, and they're going to attack. Louisiana is like the best option along with Georgia, but you go for North Carolina. North Carolina wins. That's the first state that already conquered something who has been taken over. New Mexico surrounded by strong people, which is why it's going to attack someone. Only good option here is Arizona. There we go. New Mexico loses. Let me tell you, I had a guy in my comment section where he's like, I'm from New Mexico and I'm happy. Then he edited the comment a few hours, or like a little bit later. I now hate Nebraska because New Mexico lost to Nebraska. So he probably is gonna, if he sees this, he's gonna hate Arizona now too. Arkansas. Last time we saw Arkansas, they allied with Wisconsin for whatever reason. They're gonna attack now. Louisiana is the only good option, which is why you go for Mississippi. I made a mistake. It's North Carolina, not Mississippi. And they win. Even with a 1 in 3 chance of winning, they still won. Maybe they did the right thing by allying with Wisconsin. Actually, I do want to mention, even if they didn't ally with Wisconsin, that was dead center of yes. So even if I get rid of their second little thing there to help them get more power, they still would have won. This is what I mean. They still would have won. New Hampshire. Could we see the first Civil War? Second Civil War. No, they're going to ally with someone. Now, they could betray Florida, or they could add. They're adding Arizona. That's a strong alliance right now. Indiana. They're attacking. Do they go for their rivals, Michigan? No, they're going for Ohio. Ohio, who captured West Virginia, has a better chance of winning, and they do. Sorry, Indiana. They've always lost to Michigan, so they're like, we're going to go for someone else this time, and they still lost. 35 states left. 40 minutes of recording. Now Michigan's up. They're going to attack. They're not in a good spot. They're fighting someone stronger than them either way, so you might as well go for the weaker one. 75% chance to lose here, Michigan, and you do. Ohio just getting stronger. Florida's next. Because their partner, New Hampshire and Arizona, have territory, but Florida doesn't, they don't have a chance at a civil war. So they're attacking. There's only one good option for Florida, realistically, and that's Georgia, but you're going to go for Arkansas. Very close here. They have just over a 50% chance of winning here, Florida, and they lose. Well, that's one part of an allyship that is gone. Next up is Idaho. They're going to ally with Joe Biden. A weird-looking map, but also a cool-looking map, who, if this does not land on alliance, is going after New Hampshire. They're going after New Hampshire. I do want to mention that if Maine loses, Texas also loses since they border Arizona. And if New Hampshire loses, Arizona also loses because they border Texas. So that makes sense? Okay, cool. So a lot riding on this. 25% chance and you lose. So does Texas. I also went and added numbers. I went and added numbers to make sure I know how many each has. If Colorado... If New Mexico was not taken over, Texas would still be here, but because they boarded the alliance that was being attacked, they're also gone too. Rhode Island. If this lands on attack, they're going for New Hampshire. That's exactly what's happening. And it's the same type of situation. Hawaii is bordering Arizona. 27.3% chance to win, and you lose. That's 2 back-to-back alliances that fell together. Vermont's still hanging in up there. Ohio's up next. We could see a civil war here. We don't. Ohio, probably one of the strongest singular states that's not in an alliance. They're going for Virginia. 80% chance to win. They lost. Disappointment. Failure. Well, the Virgin Empire is back. I don't understand how you lose a 80%, 20% battle. Virginia's up next. Wait. There's a civil war. Now, in the event of a civil war, I add the states that was taken over here, and one of them comes back and gets a chunk of land. That's being West Virginia, which is probably the most awkward one to get, because now I have to draw like a piece of land that it gets here. We're gonna say it gets that piece of land. Then I draw this little axe. Now these two cannot attack anyone else or be attacked until they solve their conflict. And it's always going to be a 50-50 of who wins the civil war. It's always going to be a 50-50. So there we go. There's our first civil war. Georgia, not really in a good spot. So it's going to go for an alliance. Now, who do they seek the help of? Hopefully Arkansas. No, they're going to go for Idaho. So they join Joe Biden's alliance. Nevada in one of the worst spots it can currently be in. Will attack. That's the worst option you could do. There's a 50-50 chance that it's going to be that one alliance, but it's going to be Arizona. I did the odds right, so if it's a yes, it's a no. If it's a no, it's a yes. Nevada loses. Sorry, here, let me show you. The no was supposed to be if they lost. So you see where it would, yeah, okay, they lose. So far, there's clearly one who is dominating more than the rest. Virginia's next. So like I said, the Civil War will be finished no matter what if one of them's landed on, and it's always a 50-50. Who wins the West Virginia Civil War? It's Virginia, just barely. West Virginia started a civil war with Virginia, and they lose. They got held back, they lost, and now they're part of Virginia again. Pennsylvania is going to attack. The worst thing it could do was choose attack. The only option here that is safe is New Jersey, but you're going to get Delaware. They have a 20% chance to win. And they lose. We have just now hit an hour of recording. South Carolina is next. South Carolina is in a really bad spot. They really need alliance here, but they're going to attack. This is why it's bad. It's surrounded by Georgia, an alliance with Delaware and Idaho, and Arkansas, an alliance with Wisconsin. We're going to go for Georgia. 16.7% chance to win. And they lose. North Carolina actually did something this time. You know, they had a little something, you know. South Carolina just fails in its first attempt. That's what you get for backstabbing last episode. Halfway through, over an hour has gone. Not looking good. North Dakota's next. They're in probably one of the better spots right now, and they're still gonna go for an alliance. Never can be too, you know, sure, I guess. And, oh, please. They're allying with South Dakota. Yes, this makes so much sense. It's basically an apology for the backstab they had in episode 1. Oh, no, Vermont. Vermont, you need an alliance. You need an alliance. A alliance here. Come on. Okay. They did exactly what they were supposed to. Who do they get? They get Alaska. That's helpful. North Dakota is next. Will they add to their alliance? Perhaps. They could. Or they can betray South Dakota again. And that's what they're gonna do. Now, let me tell you why this is a betrayal. If you ally with someone already in an alliance while you're in an alliance, you leave your original alliance to join their alliance. That's why it's a backstab. North Dakota just can't stop backstabbing South Dakota. Alaska's next. Will they attack or will they ally? They're gonna attack. They can only attack Washington, and they have a pretty good chance of winning, and that they do. Alaska is now expanded into the contiguous 48 states. That's what it is, right? Yeah. Montana. They're gonna ally. They're gonna ally with Oregon. No, South Dakota. Get betrayed once just to find a better friend. Alaska's up. There could be a civil war. It's going to be an attack. Really is no good choice when you're in this position. Idaho's probably the best choice. Actually, 33.3% chance of winning. And they do. Joe Biden's alliance has got a little weaker. New Hampshire's up. Possibility of a civil war, but instead it's going to be an alliance. Does New Hampshire betray Arizona? Please don't. You're a is very detrimental of a loss. This is why I didn't want to add any new things, because it makes it just 10 times longer. Georgia's up next. With the possibility of a civil war, will we see it? No, it's going to be an attack. Completely surrounded by Arkansas. If this happened before the alliance with New Hampshire, they would have lost, and they win. That alliance is now really, really strong. Montana is up next. They're going to attack. I so badly wanted to say North Dakota. Please, 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 please. 2 and 3 chance to take over Wyoming. You lost. And because Montana lost and South Dakota borders Wyoming, they both lose. I wanted them to win so I could show you how I would split in the case, in the occurrence that a alliance wins on a bordering state, I was going to show you how I was going to split them, but no, they had to lose. Oklahoma been pretty passive besides allying with Nebraska, and they're going to attack now. They're going for Arizona. 25% chance to win. They lose. Arizona is huge. Not as huge as Georgia. Less than 20 left. Minnesota is up next. If Arkansas was still in the game, it would be in a pretty bad spot because Wisconsin was allied with Arkansas, but it's not really anymore, but they still start an alliance. Or join an alliance. They'll join Joe Biden. This alliance is actually really good. 9 plus not 18. They have 18 states under their control. Georgia, part of that powerful alliance. There could be a civil war, but Georgia could leave the alliance. Or do they add someone in? Please be the logical answer. Reasoning, right? They add Kentucky. No matter who they added, because it was going to land on either Iowa or Kentucky there. They would have got an extra 2 states anyway. They now have 20 states under their control. They have more states under their control than are left, which is crazy. Virginia's up next. Virginia hasn't been seen since they had the Civil War with West Virginia and then took them back over. And they're going to attack. They're in a horrible spot as they border 3 out of Joe Biden's huge alliance, but they go for Iowa. That gives them a 71.4% chance of winning because they have 5, Iowa has 2, and they win. That was the best option. Besides Wisconsin, it would have been safer, but you definitely don't want to attack that huge alliance. Virginia's up next. Again, will there be a civil war again? No, they're gonna attack. They have a border with every single one of Joe Biden's alliance except for New Hampshire. And they're gonna go for Georgia. That's horrible. They have a 25.9% chance of winning, and they lose. Shocking. Now, this is how, right, this is gonna get divided up. Okay, so I'm gonna draw borders. Minnesota, because you're weaker, you get less. Kentucky is going to get this part. Georgia, because they did the main attacking, is going to get more. So Delaware is going to get this. All right, does the borders look stupid? Yes. Do I care? No. I've also allocated the 7 states that Virginia had across to the 4 that were bordering it. So if you do the math, 6 plus 4, 10, 2 plus 4, 6, 16, right? Plus 11 is 27. So they had 20 originally, 7. Virginia had 7. They took over Virginia, and now they have 20. Okay, cool. You get the point. So yeah, let's continue. Georgia is back up. Will there be a civil war that restricts the strongest member of that alliance? Oh, wait. Oh my God. Oh my God, there is. All right. Georgia has 11 states. I've given it that. But they have claims over where 12 states would be, not including itself. Does that make sense? Okay. So who is going to come back and restrict the strongest member of this alliance? It's going to be Florida. I will give Florida its original border and then some. Bigger Florida. So now, if anything happens to the other members of this alliance, Georgia cannot participate until the Civil War is resolved. Delaware is up next. Will there be 2 civil wars? No, wait. It's attack. Okay. Delaware only touches New Jersey. They have a 94.4% chance of winning instead of whatever else. Actually, I gave it a little too much, but because Georgia's states don't count towards it since it's in a civil war, they still win anyway. New Hampshire will also get some of this, but I'll give the state count to Delaware. They're really strong in that East Coast, in Midwest too. Been an hour and a half of recording. Would have had this done 30 minutes ago if I didn't have a civil war option. Utah's up next. Utah will attack. Arizona is the one you do not want to face, but you're going to do it anyway. 36.4% chance of winning for Utah, and they do. They win. That's all Oregon's gonna get. All right, I changed the color of them because the outline was dark gray. I'm an idiot, so I'm tired. Florida, meaning the Civil War will come to an end. 50-50 chance, remember, for the Civil War to end. Will Florida win? Oh, it's very close. They will. Just barely they win. Not only do they win, they take over all 11 states that Georgia possessed. Just like that, Florida had a civil war with Georgia, came back. I forgot to give them one piece. Took over all of what Georgia owned and has put it to Joe Biden alliance. Let's see where this ends up. This is actually interesting. Also, unlike when Texas and Maine lost because they were bordering the alliance, Florida does not take over all of Joe Biden's alliance that borders Georgia because it was a civil war situation. That's how that works. Utah's up next. Will we see a civil war? No. Utah's attacking Florida. It's a complete 50-50, 11 states to 11 states, and Utah wins. Sorry, Florida. Had that whole Civil War thing to lose to Utah. Almost. Actually, literally instantly. Look at Utah, Oregon, and North Dakota just sitting there. That's a crazy alliance winning here. We're getting closer and closer to the end as we go. Oregon is joining in even more. Now, there could be a civil war here. Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it. Oh, you did it. Oregon chose alliance. Will it betray Utah and North Dakota? But no, it's so loyal that it spun Utah. You can't do that. You're gonna go Kansas. I guess it's helpful, you know, because they get an extra state and they don't betray anyone. So Joe Biden's alliance went from being the strongest to like the second strongest. Oh, Kansas is gonna do something because they themselves have not got any territory. We finally spin this wheel again and they're gonna attack. Will they go for Joe Biden's alliance? They will. 57.5% chance to win, and they lose, and that's so much worse than you think it is. Here's why it's so much worse than you think it is. This border. The 18-state monster is gone. So here's how I'm going to draw the borders. I'm going to say Kentucky. I'm going to draw their border like this. And since Delaware is the mastermind of all of it, they get the rest. But because of Utah was blocking Oregon, they're safe for now. All right, allocation has been completed. Now they are the most powerful. There's no way they lose this, right? Add in someone to your alliance and suffer the price because they're an idiot. New Hampshire, who only borders Vermont, 90% chance to win. Wait, okay, they win. New Hampshire is the only one that benefits from this either, as well, sorry. They haven't grown for so long, too. I kind of forgot, you know, they were doing much. Forgot about how much of a powerhouse they were at the start of the game. Wisconsin's next. They haven't done anything since they lost Arkansas as an ally, and they're going to attack. They have a 2.6% chance of winning, and they lose. Well, that went about as well as he thought it could. Could think it could. What? Went about as well as you... I'm too tired. 10 left. By the way, this is not going to end as a tie. If that alliance makes it to the end, they're fighting against each other. Alaska's next. It's going to be an attack. 1 in 3 chance of fucking yourself. And that's why you go for Wyoming. A complete 50-50 chance. And Alaska loses. We're really coming down to the end here. It's been almost 2 hours of recording. I'm not doing this every episode. Louisiana's up next. Now, unless it says alliance, they're almost guaranteed to lose. Yeah, okay. 2.6% chance of winning. They lose. I mean, I could have told you that would happen. Remember, guys, it doesn't matter how far you make it in this. You will still battle to the death. North Dakota, which itself does not have any territory, but Oregon does, which is why I'm spinning this wheel. It's going to attack. It's going after Wyoming. You have a 40% chance to win. Still lost. So this alliance is completely gone. The start of their downfall, you ask? Kansas. As soon as they added Kansas, all of a sudden everything went to crap. Poor Nebraska had Oklahoma as an ally, lost Oklahoma, and still been there. They're finally doing something again. They still have a chance to save themselves by allying with the big guys, which they might do here. They got alliance, but they're allying with Wyoming. Unless a civil war happens, all-out battle is going to happen here. Does not really matter who I land on, unless it's civil war. Minnesota, unless it's a civil war, this is the end of the game before the sudden death, everyone all-out battle, right? So here we go. 78% chance to win here, Minnesota. Come on. And you win. As I'm filming this, somebody just subscribed to my channel. I think they subscribed to my Clips channel. So, Abby Plays, thank you for subscribing just now. Forgot I had that set up like that. Okay. Because it gives me the notifications for my Clips channel, because that's the way I set it up. So Abby Plays just subscribed to my Clips channel, which all of you should too. Link down in the description. But yeah, thank you. All right, that should be the end of the game, but here's where all 4 have an all-out war because one has to be standing, right? Now, number counts don't matter. Delaware has 28. That does not fucking matter a single bit. There is no chance at a civil war. Everyone will die, except for one. New Hampshire. I accidentally spun that wheel. Who? Wait, no, they only touched Delaware anyway. Okay, cool. There we go. They won. Delaware loses. Get destroyed, Joe Biden. Does that give me a lot of views this time instead of a lot of hate? All right, next one. Minnesota. Gonna go for New Hampshire. Will it win? Just barely. A battle between the final 2. Minnesota and Kentucky. Who will win? I have a feeling whoever this lands on is gonna lose. Minnesota is up. Will Minnesota win, or will it be Kentucky? It will be Kentucky. What did I tell you? All right, there we go. That's the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And as always, comment down below if there's any suggestions of countries, of continents, whatever you want to see that I could do a simulator battle royale on. I will try to do it if possible. Leave suggestions for things you want to see implemented, like a stalemate option or whatever. I've been recording for the past 2 hours and 6 minutes, so I'm gonna end recording now. See you guys in the next one. Zeno, peace out.